All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Owensville High School Gymnasium for tonight's varsity and JV Dutch Girls basketball game, where they will be taking on the Linn Wildcats. We want to give a quick shout out to Chastity Men's, as this game is sponsored by Chastity Men's CPA LLC. As you can see, we're already in action here in the JV girls game against Linn. I've got some great help this evening. I've got Owen Binkholder. He's on the camera that you see right now. Owen, how are you doing tonight?
Good, Excited to be here, I guess.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here. And then on the camera that you see right here, we have Mr. Jansen Leb. Jansen, how are you today?
I guess I'm all right.
It should be a pretty good day. I saw you won a big scholarship, didn't you?
Yep.
Wow.
It's pretty nice.
So impressive.
I appreciate it, Owen.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
And then the camera that you see right here is going to be manned by Zayden Gates. He's another senior in our TV studio program. And then the camera that you see right here is manned by Mr. Andrew Brown. And then switching the cameras is none other than Tyler Minns, who's helped us out with a lot of broadcasts this year. Tyler, do you want me to get you a headset? No, you sure? Okay. All right, well, underway here. The Dutch Girls lead early, 2-1 against Linn, as the Dutch Girls just turned the ball over. I did have a few of these, if you gentlemen would like one. Put this here for you. Put that in your pocket if you want. This is not the girls' roster. I got the wrong roster here. Don't use those. Well, I grabbed 3 rosters earlier, but I must have sat them down somewhere else. So sorry to Linn. I don't have a roster right now, but I will get one before the varsity game. Our Dutch girls have only played 1 home game so far this year. It seems crazy to me that they've only played 1 home game, but here we are in late January now, and it's only the second time we've gotten to see the Dutch girls at home. But the good news with that is that the Dutch girls will be playing at home more frequently the rest of the way out. Freshman Abby Qualascio brings the ball down the floor. Jansen, you just got out of basketball practice yourself tonight. How was basketball practice?
It was a good time. It was a pretty quick one because we got our big trip tomorrow to Kansas, so it wasn't too bad. It was a good time, as always.
Very good, very good. You guys are going to Frontenac, right? I think this is like the 3rd or 4th year you guys have done that trip.
It's the 4th. We went my freshman year was the first year we went.
Okay. What are some memories that you have from playing at Frontenac?
Not a lot. So far I've tried to get rid of those memories. It hasn't been so good yet. Hopefully this year we'll have some good ones.
Oh, okay. I feel you. Well, the basketball team has looked really great so far this year, and I've really enjoyed getting to watch you guys play. I think it's a definitely an improved year.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of which, the girls' basketball team comes into this game having been playing very good basketball of late. They've lost a few games, but every game that they've lost has been to a very good team. Most recently, they just played in the Union tournament. I believe they came away with 3rd place in that tournament. You guys back me up on that? Is that true?
I knew they were playing for 3rd. I don't know the score on that game.
I'm not sure if they won the 3rd place game or not, but I know they were in the 3rd place game.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Dutch girls would have fallen in the semifinals game to Principia, which was the #1 ranked team in Class 3 girls basketball, which we are a Class 4 school, as Linn gets the bucket there to make the score 5-2. So the girls have had a great start to the year for sure, but have not been able to capitalize on either of the tournaments that they have been on. They came in 2nd place in the Sullivan People's Classic tournament, where they fell to St. James. They went to halftime in that game, tied. Came out and was unable to get it done in the second half as St. James pulled away in the 3rd quarter. And then in this Union tournament, as we said, they played the semifinal game against the #1 team in Class 3, unable to get Principia. So each loss during the regular season just hopefully get you ready for the postseason and districts. That's the goal. Go through the people that are on the floor right now for these JV Dutch girls. It looks like Abby Qualascio is bringing the ball up again. She runs the point a lot for this JV squad. I see Kylie Reed on the floor. I see Capron Kelly, who is another sophomore. I see Piper Kelling. No, Capron Kelly's a freshman. Piper Kelling is a freshman. And then I believe that's Shay Abernathy out there as well. So got a young squad out there right now. 4 freshmen, and I believe Kylie is a junior. Does that sound right, guys?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Kylie was a part of the team last year as they made their run to the state Final Four, eventually placing 4th place at Mizzou Arena. So she's got some experience playing good high-level basketball as well. So Dutch Girls give up a layup there to Linn as Linn takes the lead 7-2. All right, gentlemen, second week back at school. How is the second semester grind getting started with also being a senior?
Boring.
Boring already out the gate?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the same thing every day.
Oh, my gosh. You can't be that bored in TV studio, hopefully.
Okay, TV studio is one exception. And Lifetime Fitness.
Okay. Oh, man, I love me some Lifetime Fitness whenever I was in high school. Will Johnson, you popped in the chat. You said 3rd place. You're right, Tyler. I appreciate that. Anybody in the chat that ever catches us, you can always feel free to chime in, especially if we're wrong. Let me know. I'm wrong a lot, so. What about you, Jansen? How's the second semester getting going for you?
It honestly hasn't been too bad yet. I haven't done a whole lot, I feel like.
Okay.
I feel like it's been pretty easy so far.
Well, I hope for you guys, and I say this every year, I sound like a broken record. I hope for you guys that the senioritis doesn't kick in too soon and you're able to really enjoy this school year. Once it's over, it's over. Kylie a little bit long on the 3 ball there. I believe that was Kylie's, when she came in off the bench during the run last year, she hit a few threes down the stretch, helped the Dutch girls. I think she's more of a shooter. Looks like the Dutch girls are going to try to get the last shot here, maybe get a 3 off and tie it up going into the second quarter. Piper Kelling gets a shot off, but it looked like they either got a hand on the ball or maybe a hand on her arm. I'm not really sure, but would assume not the arm because they didn't call a shooting foul. All right, Owen is taking us down to the cheer squad down on the floor tonight. Cheer squad is led by seniors Olivia Gibson, who I don't think is down there tonight. I don't know that I'm seeing seniors down there. Do you guys see any seniors down there? Maddie Lewis? Maddie Lewis is down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a lot of, I guess Maddie Lewis is the only senior down there right now. I think Olivia Gibson is cheering in the wintertime, though. I know she cheered in the fall. Maybe I'm incorrect on that.
I believe she's been here before.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought she did too.
I believe she still does.
Okay. Scott Rasmussen chimes in, says, "Go Dutch Girls." Thanks for tuning in, Scott. You guys tune into a lot of our broadcasts, and we appreciate you, Scott. Also miss seeing you at the middle school. Had a lot of fun working with you back in the OMS days. Do you guys remember Scott? You guys were probably there when Scott was there.
I do not.
He was one of the custodians over at the middle school. Very nice guy. All right, Linn gets the ball to start this second half here as the Dutch girls trail 4-7. Linn gets a shot off, and that one's going to be off the mark. Be rebounded by Linn after a little bit of a scramble and then a jump ball. Kind of an interesting jump ball call because I don't really know that anybody had possession. It didn't look like. Ava Schulte is now on the floor, who has basketball right now. Passes it over to Lily Barker. Kicks it out to Abby Q, who's got an open 3 shot, and she nails it. Take that to a tie game here at 7s in the early going of the second quarter. Gentlemen, you guys have your first, as Linn answers right back, you guys have your first podcast of second semester tomorrow. You guys got some topics lined out or what?
I won't be there tomorrow, so I don't know how that's going to work.
Matt hasn't been here for 2 days of this week, so.
Owen's going to solo it.
Yeah,
I'm going to do a solo pod. These gentlemen have a podcast called Out of Podkit, where they talk about all kinds of sports stuff, mostly Missouri-type sports.
We talked about how to start a restaurant one time.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So you never know what you're going to hear. They've had several guests, or you've had a couple guests.
Yeah.
You had Will Johnson.
Yep.
Looks like it was his son actually chimed in on the chat. And did you guys have another guest yet?
I don't think so.
Okay. I know we've talked about a couple other people. Maybe we can get that to work out. The Dutch girls working around here, or the Linn Wildcats. Do they call them the Lady Wildcats, or is it just Wildcats?
I'm not really sure.
Not sure either. I know, like, when a school is called the Tigers, usually they're called, like, the Lady Tigers. I don't think we're called the Lady Dutch Girls. I think Dutch Girls takes care of that.
Yeah.
Linn gets to the line here. Able to get the first one to go, nothing but net. Lead by a triple again. Speaking of triples, you boys ready for baseball season?
Yep. About that time.
I'm ready for it to not be 5 degrees when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
I'll be glad when that, like, phase that we're in is over.
I second that. I am not a fan
Oh, my
of cold.
gosh. Luckily, we're in this nice warm gym. And as the bodies start to fill the gym, and the people keep running around, it'll get warmer and sweatier and smellier in here. Lily Barker takes it herself and finishes at the rim. Very good play there by Miss Lily Barker. Lily Barker, a player that did not play last year, came back out for the team this year and is finding her way. Gets some time on varsity as well. Gives 100% effort every time she's out there. Abby Q kicks it out to Shea Abernath, who's got an open three, and she's a little bit long on it. Abby fights for the rebound, but is unable to come up. We're going to get a charge call here on Linn. There'll be no basket. It's a momentum changer there for the Dutch girls. Down by a single jump shot here. Dutch girls could tie it up or take the lead on this possession. We'll make mention of it several times throughout the evening, but I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to Chastity Men's with Chastity Men's CPA LLC. Find her down towards the end of Main Street for all of your tax accounting needs. It's getting to be tax season here soon, so I know that there's going to be people looking for those kinds of services, and encourage you to keep Chastity in mind. She's supported our TV studio this year, and we very much appreciate it. All right. What are we thinking on Coach Dave is the announcer here tonight, guys?
I just realized he got a haircut.
He did get a haircut, yeah. He's looking very fresh.
I was going to say, it looks good.
Does he look more or less like Mike McDaniel with his haircut?
Definitely more. Definitely more.
Jansen, give us a little zoom in on Coach Dave there, and then we'll flip to your camera here in just a second. Coach, after this free throw.
Coach Mike.
A little long on the free throw. That's Coach Dave. He is a math teacher here at the high school, also coaches track and cross country. A lot of people say that he looks like the head coach for the Miami Dolphins, Mike McDaniel. Once you say it and you see it, you can't unsee it. Linn was able to get the rebound off that missed free throw, able to get a bucket and then an and one. So that was a great trip down the floor for Linn as they now lead by 5. Cameron Kelly sets the screen. Got 3 Dutch girls kind of clumped up in that corner there as they try to separate out a little bit. We got a timeout from Coach Kopelman on the bench. Coach Kopelman is Coach Mike McDaniel, who we were just talking about, his wife. She teaches here at the high school and the middle school. She's been the assistant basketball coach for, my goodness, it's been 4, 5, maybe 6 years now, quite a long time. She's also the head softball coach here at the high school. See on the bench there from right to left, it looks like we have freshman Delilah Crow and then junior Lily Barker just to her left. Freshman Abby Colaccio, and then to the left of her you see Cabrin Kelly. I'm not sure who the 5th person that is in right now. I'm thinking it's Ava Schulte still. but she is eclipsed in this.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah, it's Ava Schulte.
I didn't realize they only got 6 people right now.
Yeah. So my thought, well, we've got some injuries. Addie is injured right now, and I believe Addie is still not playing. Jenna Breedlove is injured on the varsity squad, and she is still not playing. So we are probably a little bit thin on numbers, I guess, right now. Oh, Cabron got a hand on that. Thought it was going to be maybe a back court, but not. Cabron gets a block there, but unable to secure the ball after the block as Linn cleans it up and then scores an easy bucket. A little bit of sloppy play here has led to some easy buckets for Linn. Dutch Girls going to have to get it under control, not let this thing get out of hand. I also saw something today. Got a push off from Ava Schulte. Turn the ball over to Linn. I saw something today that I didn't know about. I was looking at the Osage R2 Facebook page, and they had listed tonight's game. They were advertising for tonight's game as well. And I guess they have a player on Lynn's team that is also going to Ottawa, which is the same place that Allie Daniels is going. So there'll be two basketball players tonight going on to play the college level for Ottawa on separate teams playing in the varsity game tonight. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute myself for just a moment here. You guys finish up in there? Is that thing done or what?
Jansen, I think you need to start talking a little more.
One more piece.
You sound like a Minecraft villager over there, Owen. You're just kind of
Oh, yeah?
over and over again. I'm trying.
Jansen, if you talked as much as you did on our podcast, it'd be a lot better.
I'm just trying not to make random noises like you've been doing, Owen.
Hey, my noises are input.
You need to work on your filming skills.
Okay.
All right. The Linn, I'm going to call them the Lady Wildcats. It feels better. The Linn Lady Wildcats now have doubled the Dutch Girls score with an 18-9 lead here with 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Abby Colagio sizes up her defender, decides where she's going to go, dishes it off to Delilah Crow. I think the Dutch Girls have had pretty decent ball movement. It just seems to me, and I'm not a basketball guy, Jansen, you could probably talk about this more, as Lily Barker draws the foul, so she's going to go to the line. It seems to me that they've just had some spacing issues. It seems like they're getting a little bit clumped up.
Yeah, they've gotten on top of each other a couple times. Big thing right now is keeping control of the ball. I feel like Lynn's definitely beating us in the turnover numbers right now.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
yeah.
not correct on that, but turnovers tend to lead to a lot of points for
Absolutely.
the other teams. So.
Especially in JV basketball, because you're going to get a lot of easier layup opportunities, and that's really where you make your bread and butter in JV basketball. As Lily Barker is able to get the second one to go here, and she now is tied with Colagio for the lead in Dutch Girls scoring there with 3 points apiece. I could use some advice from the viewers at home. If you guys could let me know, if you've watched a previous broadcast of ours, we've been playing around with an extra camera setup that's focused just on the scoreboard in the bottom right, so that way we don't have to have somebody actually man a scoreboard. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think that looks nice down there in the bottom right? Did you like the previous scoreboard? And then also, I guess my next question is, obviously on the side of the scoreboard you can see the players' jersey number, their points, and then also their fouls. Is that even viewable at home? Is it too small? Should I cut that off? Because I could just trim it to where it's just that middle part. You guys let me know. I'm trying to figure out what looks best. I'd like to have the absolute best possible setup by the time we get to the Homecoming live broadcast.
I personally like the scoreboard how it is right now.
I agree. As long as it's legible. I think from standing from right here, having watched other broadcasts, mostly of our boys' basketball games, I think the scoreboard looks nice compared to the other one.
I agree. It's also a lot less work for us up here.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's probably the most, it's not probably, it is the most accurate time you're going to get because it's not possible for us to have it completely synced up with the board.
Yeah.
So when we get to that, like the end of the, not semester, the end of the half, and you see them trying to shoot up a shot before clock expires, you get a better idea of what that looks like. As Abby gets a 3 off, just a little short, but a great rebound there from Shea Abernathy. Kicks it back out to Colascio. And going to get a charge on Colascio there. Owen, I think with your camera, just from peeping over at the computer from time to time, I think you can zoom in just a little bit more. As long as you can keep those wings in the screen for the viewer, I think you're good.
I think that's Jansen right now.
Oh, that's Jansen.
I was going to say mine's moving. It's not moving on the screen.
Don't blame it on me, Owen.
Nope. Blaming it on you, Jansen.
You know you just need to do better.
I think that's good. That's good. I think Coach Dave's doing a great job.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Also, I know you guys, some of you, maybe Jansen, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I love that particular shot of our gymnasium. I love seeing the crowd. I love seeing the windmill. I think that's just a cool shot. All right, Colascio brings it back up the floor as the final minute starts to expire here. Jansen, I've got a question for you. Have the boys this year played in any shot clock games, like a tournament or anything like that?
The game when we played at Mizzou Arena was shot clock for boys and girls basketball. We both played on shot clock.
Did it change the way you guys approached offense at all? Or defense, I guess?
Well, you think it would, but almost once you get going, after, maybe the first 2 or 3 minutes, for the most part, you don't notice it.
You don't even think about it?
Yeah, the ball just kind of starts moving around, and there was maybe only 3 or 4 possessions the whole game where it got down to the shot clock. It's just the only thing that really changes is
you can't play keep away at the end of the game.
Well, what you see is a good shot expands just a little bit because you can't make 10 more passes and get a perfect one. Sometimes you got to take a great shot over a perfect one.
All right, we're going to halftime here with the Dutch girls down by a score of 21-10 on this JV side.
It looks like, are they only playing a half?
Yeah, they are only playing a half. I didn't realize that. So we are playing one. Oh, I guess that makes sense because we only had 6 girls there.
Yeah.
So we're jumping right into the varsity game now, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be an early night tonight, 6 o'clock. All right. If you guys want to take a camera and pan it up to the scoreboard, you can feel free to do that. Before the varsity girls game, we play a tribute video or a hype video, and you get to see some images from the state run last year and all that excitement. Were you guys in that crowd for that game?
I was.
I was not.
Oh, Jansen.
The Aurora game.
Jansen's not a real fan.
Out, man.
I guess not.
The Aurora game, that was something else.
Yep, I remember I jumped off the bleachers, and I think I rolled my ankle.
Oh, you can't do that before baseball season.
I know. I messed up.
All right. See our varsity Dutch girls, Allie Daniels, Cameron Caldwell, Cam Novak, Bryn Wright, Addie Mins, Kylie Reed, Lily Barker, Jenna Breedlove, Cameron Ryerson, Lainey Moss. I don't know if I missed somebody, though. I did the best I could.
I don't know. I think you got them all.
Thank you, Owen. I appreciate that. And here comes the Dutch girls. All right, so during this pregame, what I always like to do, gentlemen, is if you guys could find somebody and zoom in on them on the floor, that'll give us somebody to talk about during these pregame warm-ups. We've got some great basketball players on this girls' basketball team. Lots to talk about here as they get their pregame prayer in. Also, I find it very strange this year that we have so many Wednesday night home, or just Wednesday night games in general. Usually, I feel like games didn't happen on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right. So, choose a girl to zoom in on and follow, and then we'll start discussing what we know about that player. So, it looks like this is on Jansen's cam right now. It looks like Jansen is zoomed in on Miss Cameron Caldwell, probably the sharpest shooter on the Dutch girls team. Would you guys agree with that?
Yep.
I would say so.
I think that anytime Cameron has the basketball from beyond the arc, she is a danger and a threat to drop a three-pointer, and she has shown down the stretch that she can do that in big games. So opposing defenses really have to make sure that they are covering Cameron, and if they're not, they usually learn pretty early on that they need to make an adjustment and start doing so. Cameron, also a great student in the classroom, and she is moving on to play collegiate basketball herself, I believe at Culver Stockton next year. Does that sound right, guys?
Something like that.
I think that's right. It gets hard to keep track of everybody as time goes on.
Yep.
And I get older, and my brain starts to fry. You guys see it in the classroom.
All the time.
I do the best I can. All right, let's get somebody else. Who's Owen got now? Let's go see Owen's camp. Owen is zoomed in on the MVP herself. That is Miss Bryn Wright. What a great story from Bryn this year. If you guys have followed any of our other broadcasts, we've definitely mentioned it a few times. Bryn has missed basically the last 2 seasons. She really never got a chance to play varsity basketball until this year because she suffered injuries each of the last 2 years that kept her out of it. Last year especially had to be a tough and difficult thing to go through with the girls on their state run, and she could have been a very big contributor to that team as well. But unfortunately, like we said, she wasn't able to play. She comes out this year and is a huge factor for the Dutch girls.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
As I mentioned, MVP at the Mizzou game at Mizzou Arena when they took on Fatima. They got the revenge against Fatima as they weren't able to beat Fatima in the, the Norm Stewart Classic, but they were able to do it this year. Jansen, you know a few things about the MVP. You guys got to do interviews after the game. Jansen was the MVP of the boys' game. What was the interview like for you, Jansen?
It was pretty basic questions. How was the game? How was, like the experience, of course, and then talking about, your teammates and stuff. It was pretty fairly simple questions.
Very cool. I got a chance to watch both of your interviews. I think both of you guys did a very good job. Bryn's interview was really centered around, kind of her comeback season and what she thought of this Dutch girls team for this year. And really, I think this Dutch girls team could come out any night and beat anyone on any given night. They've got the shooters to do it. They've got the defense to do it. And it's exciting to watch. So if you haven't gotten to watch a Dutch girls basketball game yet this year, you're in for a treat getting to watch it at home. But we also encourage you to come out and see it as well. Next up on the screen, we got Miss Allie Daniels, which if you saw the thumbnail for this particular broadcast, Allie was on the thumbnail for this broadcast, and it is her commitment photo for going to play at Ottawa. As I mentioned earlier, there is a girl that is on this Linn basketball team that is going to be a future teammate of Allie Daniels. I don't know the name of that girl, but we'll probably be able to tell once they get playing. If she's going on to play collegiate basketball, I assume she's probably doing pretty well on the floor herself. Allie is a 4-year Dutch girls senior on the basketball floor, multi-sport athlete, plays softball, also a great track runner as well. But basketball is really where her heart's at. It's definitely her favorite sport, and she is very intense on the floor. Gentlemen, how would you sum up Allie's intensity on the floor?
She's going to die for every ball she can. She's really just going to try to keep the ball in play when she can and take it down court too. So.
Absolutely. You're going to see Allie be the primary point guard for the Dutch girls team. She brings the ball down the floor. She's the floor general out there, and she is helping set other players up. But if she's getting a lane, she is really great at making that first move. She's got a lot of quickness, and she gets a lot of layups in that way. So the one thing about Allie is I think she is probably her harshest critic. She gets out there and she wants to do well every single night, just like every player does, but she holds herself to a very high standard, and I think a lot of that is shown in where her game is at now because she's an absolutely fantastic player.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Another thing I always like to touch on, since I am an educator here at the school, is that Allie is another fantastic student in the classroom. All of these girls, they have a lot to be proud of, both on the floor and in the classroom, but she's another one that does a great job. Senior here at OHS, Allie Daniels. Who we got next? All right, it looks like we are on Owen's camera. And
perfect, I don't know how to zoom in on.
got some freshmen there that just played in the previous game. Let's say on Piper Kelling there. You know Piper Kelling?
No. This one?
Nope, you behind. Back.
Tall one.
Tall one right
this
there.
One? All right.
Yeah. She's got the ponytail. That doesn't help, but you're on the right one there.
I got it, yep.
So Piper Kelling is a freshman here at OHS, and I am lucky to have actually almost all of these freshman girls in my classes this year, but Piper in particular, she has been getting more playing time recently on the varsity squad with Addie Mins not being able to play. And we're going to see some interesting stuff tonight because there's another face that's actually not out there tonight, and that's Cameron Novak, who is just actually sick right now. She's just not at school because she is sick. So I think you're going to see Piper Kelling on the floor a pretty decent amount tonight. And what she brings to this Dutch girl squad is she's obviously got some height, and she does well down low under the basket, bringing down rebounds. And I've also seen her shoot up some three-pointers as well. So I know that she's got some diversity in her game as she puts up a three-pointer there. But she's another girl that I think you're going to see really develop over the years here with these Owensville Dutch girls basketball players. Also, I have to note that this freshman squad is really going to be carrying the torch, in the coming years. We have a few non-freshmen, a few sophomores and juniors, but we do have a lot of freshmen. They've played a lot of basketball together, and I think you're going to see them really get to grow over the next couple years. So shout out to Piper Kelling. Who do we got next? It is a little bit strange out there with the injuries and whatnot that we have. Looks like Owen is zooming in there. I believe that's Lainey Moss, correct?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Lainey Moss played a pretty key role for the Dutch girls basketball team down the stretch, coming off the bench on their Final Four run last year as a freshman. And then this year she figures in the starting rotation sometimes. She figures in as the first person off the bench. I would not be surprised if tonight Lainey Moss gets the start with Cameron Novak and Addie Mins both out. It'll probably either be her or Piper Kelling or Kylie Reed or Lily Barker. It's hard telling, but I would not be surprised if Lainey is that next person up off the bench as a starter tonight. She brings some good shooting to the floor, but she also brings a ton of hustle. She got a ton of hustle out on the floor. You're going to see her doing everything she can to get to every single ball. I've never had Lainey Moss in class, but in the hallways I can tell you that she's extremely friendly, extremely polite, great student here at OHS, and always excited to see her out on the basketball floor. Who we got next? Oh, Cameron Ryerson. Cameron Ryerson is a sophomore here at OHS. She was on the squad last year as well. What a ride for Cameron and Lainey as freshmen to get to follow this team all the way to the Final Four in an unbelievable season, really. We talked about the Aurora game a moment ago, but I can't imagine the freshmen being in that position and getting to make those memories. But Cameron is very athletic. She participates in multiple sports here at OHS. Softball player. I believe Lainey was a softball player as well. And I think Cameron does track in the spring, so I think she's a three-sport athlete here at OHS. I was fortunate to get to be Cameron's cross-country coach when she was in middle school. And here's what I can speak to when it comes to her drive and her work ethic. She's extremely coachable. She wants to continue to get better all the time, and she's always learning. And she's had a great opportunity to learn from some great basketball players last year and this year. So shout out to Cameron Ryerson. You're going to see her, I assume, quite a bit tonight for sure. If she's not in the starting lineup, she'll probably be one of the first people off the bench. Plays really great defense, a lot of good hustle. And then moving on after this year, after we see these girls graduate, you're going to see a whole lot of Lainey Moss and Cameron Ryerson, I assume, the next couple years in high school. Who we got next? All right, Lily Barker. We talked about Lily a little bit during the JV basketball game. She did not play basketball last year, but she came back out this year and has been a very nice addition to the team as obviously we have some injuries right now, but even prior to the injuries, Lily was working into the mix out on the floor. She brings a spark off the bench, a lot of energy. She's going to give you everything she's got. She's not afraid to go out and play physical. If she's got to get a foul, she'll go get the foul. But she's going to give you everything for those minutes that she is out on the floor. And I imagine she's another one that we're going to see work into the mix quite a lot this evening. You just seen her play in the JV game. You know, after taking a year off of basketball, there's a lot of, just getting back into, basketball play, whether that be basketball shape. And they do that a lot in practice, but also just those game scenarios and that experience. She's trying to play catch-up this year, and she's done a great job. And she's kept a really, really great attitude. Another student at OHS that she likes to make people laugh, and I've gotten to have Lily in class, and she makes me laugh quite often. All right. Abby Colosio, we just saw her. You see her on your screen right now as she is rebounding here. She was the point guard for that JV game that we just saw, and she does a great job handling the ball. And she's another girl that has already come off the bench quite a bit for the Dutchgirls in varsity appearances. I know that Coach Van Leer probably doesn't have much concern with her ball handling skills and her decision making. And she's another one that as she goes through high school, continues to grow and get that experience. I see her as a player that is going to do very well for the Dutchgirls down the road. In the classroom, got to give her a shout out. She's in my intro to business class. She's the only person in all of my intro to business classes that in the first semester did not miss a single question. It got to the point where I was trying to stump her on something, and she never missed anything. So if that tells you anything about her work ethic in the classroom, she's always given us the best that she can. Oh, could you do me a favor and go zoom in on our coaching staff down there for the Dutchgirls?
Yep.
All right, so from left to right here, you're going to see Coach Kopelman on the left side there. As I said earlier, she's been with the Dutchgirls basketball team for the last 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. And she's been the head Dutchgirls softball coach as well. Next to her on the bench is Miss Kayla Charbonneau. If you follow Dutchgirls basketball throughout time and history, you would know that she was a member of that basketball team that also went to the Final Four and took third place with the Haley Disselkamp-led Dutchgirls basketball squad that was coached by Steve Tapmeyer. Awesome to see her come back and get involved with coaching the sport that I know she loved playing. She was a very integral part of that team, and I know that she's excited to be back here with the Dutchgirls basketball players. And then far right is Coach John Van Leer. The high school now is really a Van Leer basketball high school, as his two sons, Colin and Cameron, not only help out with the girls basketball team, but Colin is the head boys basketball coach, and Cameron also helps out, I believe, with both squads, I guess. Jansen, you could probably speak to that better than I could.
Yeah, I think all three of them pretty well show up to both as much as they can. I think they try to work as a team on both squads. You know, as a guy that's really into sports, it's really cool to see a family be able to share that together, in my opinion. I know I have so many great memories with my family in sports, and I can't imagine. I'm sure John is just beaming with pride getting to see his sons coach the game that he got to coach them in and also love. And Coach John Van Leer does a great job with the Dutchgirls basketball team. Obviously, pretty key part of a team going to the Final Four last year, and he's excited to be back again this year. As you see the clock wind down here at OHS, we're going to have varsity basketball here for you in just a minute. I hope I didn't bore you to death too much with my nonstop blabbing, but we had to fill 15 minutes. And
I'm bored to death right now. I'm dead.
I did it, guys. Poor Owen.
I think we need a 15-minute session of Owen commentary now.
15 minutes of silence.
15 minutes. We're done here in Mr. T for the day. Guys, was that my microphone that made that squeak?
I don't know. It hurt my head.
Did you hear it on the headset?
Yes.
That definitely had to be my headset then. I tried to turn the gain up so that way they could hear the national anthem in here, but
I can hear it.
Perfect. Owen, if you could zoom in on Linn, and Jansen, if you could zoom in on Owensville, we'll go through these.
I
think it's Kiana Hofstetter. I think it's 3 that was going on to play at Ottawa.
Starting at guard, 5'7" senior, number 12, Hannah Hackman. And at forward, a 6-foot sophomore, number 30, Harley Grant. The head coach for the Wildcats is Brian Lowe, assistant coach Steve Sampson.
All right, now on to our Dutch girls.
Starting lineup for your Owensville Dutchgirls. Starting at guard, a 5'5" senior, number 0, Cam Caldwell. Starting at guard, a 5'6" senior, number 3, Allie Daniels. Starting at guard, a 5'7" sophomore, number 15, Cameron Ryerson. Starting at guard, a 5'8" senior, number 22, Bryn White. And at guard, a 5'5" sophomore, number 35, Lady Moss. The head coach of the Dutchgirls is John Van.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That's your starting 5. And just like we predicted, we're going to have a couple new faces in the starting lineup that we don't normally see in sophomores Lane Moss and Cameron Ryerson. So, out on the floor, you got 3 seniors led by leaders Allie Daniels, Cameron Caldwell, and Bryn Wright, and then a couple sophomores. So, I'm ready to get this thing underway, guys. Also, this is going to be a very early night tonight.
Yeah, hopefully.
All right, Dutch girls win the tip here as we are now underway. Allie Daniels, the floor general, like we talked about, point guard, brings it up. Looks to set up the offense. Cameron Caldwell with the 3-ball early on. Talked about her as a shooter. Cannot leave her open. As Linn is able to get the point in transition there, take the first bucket of the game and lead 2-0. Gentlemen, you can also feel free to record at this point too if you're not already.
I'm recording.
Awesome. Allie Daniels works it in and takes it herself. Get the Dutch girls on the board tonight with a 2-2 score going into the second possession here by Linn. Looks like they might get an easy bucket here, but honestly, probably a pretty good foul by Lainey Moss, not just letting her have the easy points. What's the strategy there, Jansen? If it's going to be an automatic bucket like that, do you want to go in and foul?
A lot of times it depends on a lot of things. Game, who you're
many
playing,
fouls you got.
how many fouls you got, personal and team. And then also, who you're fouling, of course.
Right.
You got a really good free throw shooter.
Maybe it's not even worth it.
But, yeah.
Well, in this situation, it's already paid dividends because she missed the first free throw. If the only things go here, it could be a really great call by Lainey Moss there getting that foul. She gets the second to sink, so Dutch girls trail 3-2. But yeah, getting in foul trouble early on is not a good situation. So Allie with a little bit of a Euro step there, I believe. Ryerson comes down with the rebound, tries to go back up with it, but unable to get it to fall. Dutch girls get back on defense. Going to get Allie with a, what would you call that foul, Jansen?
I guess a block. I don't really know.
Come on, Jansen. You're supposed to know this.
I'm not the most expert on what each foul is called. Sometimes they still confuse me with what they'll call sometimes. I'm not an expert on it by any means. I know what a foul is, though.
Number 3 here, I believe this is Hofstetter, and I believe this is the girl that is going on to play collegiate basketball with Allie Daniels at Ottawa. Could be wrong if I am. Let me know. She gets both free throws to go, and the Wildcats take a 5-2 lead here as the Dutch girls try to get back on the board. Cameron Caldwell makes a move and is able to take it herself and get the finish at the bucket. Cameron Caldwell, senior at OHS, getting it done. Those girls tighten up on defense here. I think the key thing for this Dutch girls team down the stretch, as Linn hits a 3 ball here, number 12 for Linn, increased their lead by a score of 8-4. I think a key thing for this Dutch girls team down the stretch is just get healthy and try to stay healthy once we get to districts.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I know that's, pretty much an overarching goal for every team down the road as Bryn comes up just a little bit short on a 3 attempt. But this team especially because, they're not incredibly deep. I mean, we just watched a JV game where they had 6 girls out on the floor. So getting healthy is definitely of importance. Linn able to come down with the rebound and put it right back up. Increase that lead to 10-4 as Coach John Van Leer is going to take a timeout. And I'll take you to the most recent highlight that we have. And I believe you're going to see Cameron Caldwell doing some work out on the wing and then taking it in herself to get second bucket of the game. So Cameron gets kind of an ISO here, gets a good first move to get around her defender, and is able to finish at the bucket. So so far, scoring for the Dutch girls is we had that layup from Cameron, and then we had another time when it looked like Allie Daniels was able to take it in herself and get a layup. See Coach John Van Leer here talking to the squad as they try to get things lined out. Try to get some more points on the board here in the early going. It feels like we've been playing for a while, but only, my goodness, 2 minutes and 40 seconds have come off the clock?
I guess. I don't know.
Does that feel right?
It feels like it's been
longer
really long.
Did they forget to start the clock at some point?
I guess when you have 14 points scored in the first 2 or 3 minutes, that makes it go a lot slower.
I guess there were a lot of fouls and free throws early on already.
There's been a lot of stoppages already.
That's true. That's true. Linn works it around. They get the shot off. They're going to be, oh my goodness. The bank is open from deep 3 as Linn improves their lead. 9-point lead here in the first 3 minutes. That one's going to stay with the Dutch girls as they try to feed it down low to Allie Daniels, but Hofstetter got a hand on it, knock it out of bounds. Allie finds Bryn in the backcourt. Makes a move. And that is what Allie Daniels is so good at. She is so good at making that quick first step, try to get around her defender, and she's not afraid to go and draw contact getting to the basketball hoop.
Yeah.
She can get 2 free throw shots here. As we pan back to my favorite shot of the gym. Brought to you by none other than the Mr. Andrew Brown as Allie Daniels hits her first free throw. Guys, what can you tell me about Andrew Brown? That's a real question.
A lot. I can tell you a lot about Andrew Brown.
Allie gets them both to go as she is a solid free throw shooter on this Dutch girl basketball team. Pulls the Dutch girls 2 points closer to Linn. Oh, Bryn gets a good tip on the ball and gets the steal. Dutch girls are chasing. Allie Daniels gobbles it up, and she, oh man, not a very friendly roll here at Owensville for the Dutch girls. It would have been nice to have those 2 points. That's the kind of thing I told you, I mentioned earlier. As Bryn gets another steal, they're going to set up and they're going to put it in the basket this time. As she takes it, dishes it off to Allie again. Allie gets the shot off. She's a little long, gets her own rebound, chases it. She gets a block going in, though. Good defense there from Linn on the second attempt. Offsetter goes to her right. Runs into 2 defenders there. Gets the ball back. A little hezzy on Daniels. Pulls up for a jumper, gets it to go. Dutch girls work it around. Allie Daniels tried to give that quick jab step there to Hofstetter, but unable to get her to bite on it. Allie comes up with the rebound, though. It's going to be a foul on number 30 there. Yeah, I'm with you guys. I feel like this has been the longest first quarter of all time. I mean, it's very rare that you see a team get close to 20 points in the first quarter. especially in girls basketball. It's weird to be on pace for 80 after one in high school basketball. Here's a question for you guys. Have you guys ever seen a team drop 100 in a high school basketball game?
Not in person, no.
I have. I've seen it happen in this gym before.
Oh.
In the Owensville tournament.
Oh.
Oh, wow. When I was in high school, I saw our team drop 100 on somebody one time. And it was 100, but I think it was like 100 to 80 or something like that. Like, I believe it was high scoring from both teams. Oh!
Oh, my.
That one just got away. Linn able to come up with it.
They one year in our home tournament here in this gym, it was Fatima versus, it was a homeschool team. I can't remember the exact name of them. They had like black and gold jerseys. And they went to the championship game, and it went into overtime. And in overtime, it was tied like 95-95.
Oh, my gosh. So it was high scoring both ways.
Yeah, and then
man.
I think Fatima ended up winning. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember watching that game. Fatima always was a really solid team overall.
They're solid in every sport every year, it feels like.
Yeah. And then the homeschool team, they had one kid that probably had 50. He was
wow.
He was good. I mean,
yeah, that's a good night at the hardwood.
Bruce Penites was saying his name
a lot.
It felt like every time he turned around.
Linn gets the free throws to go there now as they have 17 points here in this first quarter. Would it be cool? Like, would I be cool to say they're making it rain? Is that cool?
It's not cool. I would never say that again.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'll rebound. All right, Dutch girls are trying to find the bottom of the bucket here, and Cameron Ryerson finds Cam Caldwell right under the bucket. Another heartbreaker as she almost got that to fall. Last shot from Cameron, last shot from Allie were two buckets that were in and out. As Cameron Caldwell poked it away, Dutch girls come up with it. You know, for Linn having 17, the Dutch girls have pulled quite a few turnovers as Cameron Caldwell gets that first three ball to fall tonight. I wouldn't be surprised to see more of that. Dutch girls pulled it within 8. Bryn cuts off the passing opportunity there. Piper Kelling, freshman we were talking about earlier, is out on the floor now. Looks like Lainey Moss has gotten a breather as Hofstetter responds to Caldwell's three with a three ball of her own. These Linn Wildcats, they have come out to play tonight.
Definitely.
We got a steal there from Hofstetter, and she's going to finish. Makes it 22-9 for Linn. Guys, this Hofstetter girl's for real.
Yeah,
12 points so far in the first quarter already. Wow. On pace to drop a 50-piece right now. Was that cool, 50-piece?
A little cooler. You're getting better.
I'm doing the best I can, Owen. All right, looks like Allie Daniels is holding for the final shot here as the Dutch girls trail 22-9. Get it out to Piper Kelling, work it around to Ryerson. Daniels gets it off, a long three. Long rebound, Bryn gets it up. Oh, still can't get that one to go. You know, we've had some chances here in this first quarter to get some buckets that just didn't fall. We got to hope that moving forward that we start to get those buckets. As you see the Dutch girls take their spot on their bench. Another thing, this is probably going to be a very exhausting game, especially for those three seniors, because I can't imagine they're going to come off the floor very much.
No, definitely not.
All right, let's take you to our most recent highlight. Most recent highlight here is going to be that Cam Caldwell three ball. So, as we watch here, looks like the Dutch girls, I believe Cameron shot that from the wing, I think. Oh, never mind. I must have missed the three-pointer then. My apologies. Or did the three-pointer, Cameron hit a three-pointer, didn't she?
She did. In the corner in front of Lynn's bench.
That's what I thought.
Right at the end.
I thought that was the highlight that I last captured, but I guess I missed it. All right. What do you guys think that the Dutch girls had to turn around in this quarter to draw closer to Linn going into half?
I think they just need to find some baskets that can fall. I mean, they've had a bunch of opportunities to make it a much closer game than it is right now. They just need to find the bottom of the net.
Jansen?
Well, I mean, I think to put it simple is the amount of balls we've had roll off the rim so far, and number 3 on Linn has banked in a 3 so far. So, I mean, it's just a matter to me right now. I feel like we're both getting quality shots. Lynn's just making them, and we're not.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you don't really count on a banked 3 going in very often.
Yeah, that generally is not something that you expect to see, but it happens.
So I believe we were absolutely outplayed in the first quarter, but I also feel like they had some luck and we did not have some luck. So maybe we can see that change around a little bit. Maybe we can get them this quarter. We'll see. But regardless, number 3 Hofstadter's a problem.
She's good, yeah.
Getting 12 points in the first quarter, you just don't see that kind of scoring in high school basketball, really on boys or girls, especially girls, at all. So that's pretty impressive. Shout out to Hofstadter.
If I had to guess, at least the game plan coming to the end of the quarter is
Hofstadter gets that 3 off, but doesn't get it to go. Go ahead, Jansen.
they're probably, I'm sure Van Leer's had a big discussion with them about the number 3 cannot get another shot the rest of the game, and I'm sure that's their game plan on the defensive end for right now.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell on the defensive end for Linn, they're doing a great job of trying to force somebody other than Allie and Cam and Bryn to get the shots. I feel like they're doing
definitely.
Bryn gets the 3 off and gets that one to go.
I thought it was going to happen again.
Yeah, we needed that one. We needed one to fall for us.
That would have been a tough one to miss, but to make it is also pretty fortunate after the bounce around here. So Dutch girls pulled within 10. Hopefully make it single digits again here in just a moment. Also, I'm not sure who B. Dow is. Do you guys know who B. Dow is on YouTube?
Pretty sure that's Timmy.
Timmy says, "Get me on the mic."
I'm pretty sure it's Timmy.
Timmy, I know Timmy's Xbox gamer tag used to be something beat out.
That's exactly what I thought.
There's more than just Timmy that had that name, so.
Yeah, but Timmy was lurking around here earlier.
Yeah,
so.
Timmy was up.
I was wondering if it was him. He wasn't at school today, though.
He came like second half of the day.
Oh. As Bryn kicks out to Allie, who's got an open 3 opportunity, and she's just a bit long. So there you go. There's another example of having a good shot, just needing to get those to fall. But that was a good quality shot as the Dutch girls are playing some smothering defense, and Bryn is really all over the place out there. My goodness, Linn cannot miss.
They cannot. They are really finding it right now.
Basketball is an interesting sport, too, because if a team comes in and just has a lights-out night shooting, I mean, really anybody could beat anybody.
Yeah, really, yeah.
In this situation, Linn is just lights-out shooting. I don't know if I could shoot that good unguarded by myself.
I probably could not.
That one gets tipped, but still makes it to Caldwell. Caldwell gets the shot off, and she's a little off the mark. Bryn works hard to come down for the rebound, goes right back up with it, and gets fouled. Jansen, I've talked a lot about this on these broadcasts, and I want to hear a basketball player's perspective on it. Is it difficult, or is it something that coaches stress whenever you get the rebound trying to go back up with it? Is that hard to do? Easier said than done?
I would say it depends on who's coming down with the rebound. A lot of times, like on this team, like if Addie Menz is out there, of course you want her to go back up with it. I would say really any of the, 5 seniors? I would say any of them you want to go back up with it. But in girls basketball it might be a little different, but sometimes on our team they would rather.
Bang! Cameron gets a 3-ball to fall.
Sometimes on our team they would rather see us kick out and get a better one versus someone small in the post, but once again, it really just depends on the situation.
Bryn just absolutely picks her pocket. Now we got to finish here, and she gets the finish. I get what you're saying. If you got the height, then use it. But if you don't, maybe a kick out is a better option, is what you're saying.
Yeah, in high school it's a lot different. High school's a lot different in a lot of ways than like when we were younger, because I felt like when we were younger, it was you're always trying to draw fouls and just go up strong. In high school, with any sport really, football, baseball, basketball, all 3 that I've played, there's a lot more thinking that goes into your decision making. It's more of a team sport, I guess you could say.
Wow, so in this last replay, you see the end of the 3-ball that Cameron Caldwell hits. Again, we've mentioned multiple times that she is absolutely lethal from 3. And then you also see the steal by Bryn. She just literally pickpockets, takes it down the court, gets it to fall. And then obviously Linn has called the timeout, trying to talk it over because I think the girls just went on like a 7-0 run in like a minute, like less than a minute. It happened very, very quickly, which was much needed because prior to that 7-0 run, we were down by 16.
Yeah.
Being down by 9 feels much more manageable here, and hopefully we can keep chopping down on that lead here. Dutch girls have the 3 seniors on the floor that started the game, and then also Lainey Moss and Cameron Ryerson. So the starters are back in as Linn hits another 3 to answer right back. These Wildcats can shoot.
Definitely.
Oh, Bryn Wright takes it in herself, but just gets a little too caught up under the hoop. Unable to get that to fall. Bryn gets all the way back down the floor after falling. Gets the rebound, brings it back up. She's got a motor that just doesn't run out of gas. It looks like, no, Hofstadter's still on the floor.
I don't think she's gone out of the game yet. I could be wrong, but.
She's guarding the sophomore here, Lainey Moss, who kicks it back out to Allie. I'm sure Allie is happy to draw a defender that's not Hofstadter. Seems like she's going to have a better chance of getting around somebody with that quick first step. Bryn gets a long 3 off and gets it to fall. Bryn Wright doing it on both ends of the floor as Dutch girls had a defensive lapse there. Got to clean that up after the bucket.
They're definitely going to have to start getting some more rebounds, too.
Yeah, I feel like we're getting beat on the rebounding side. A lot of scoring early on. Holy smokes. I just don't see a lot of games with this much scoring.
No, definitely not.
Allie Daniels gets a 3 off. I thought it got tipped, but I guess not. Ended up being a little bit long, I think. Hofstadter tries to take it in herself and doodle herself, and she draws the foul, and it looks like, I don't know if Bryn is injured or exhausted or both. She might need just a little breather. I think she's getting ready to get one with Piper Kelling coming onto the floor. She's got to be exhausted. She's been running hard up and down the floor the entire time. I don't think she has come out of the game yet either, has she?
I'm not sure.
Looks like the student section got to Hofstadter that time. She's not able to get the first one to fall. And she's going to not get the second one to fall either. That was not a very kind roll here. Dutch girls get away with one there as Hofstadter are unable to get those to fall. Dutch girls look to take it to a single-digit lead here for the Wildcats again. They work it around the perimeter. Allie Daniels tries that quick first step, but Hofstadter's prepared for it. So we're in a spot right. Oh, Allie Daniels breaks away, gets a open look. And I was just thinking this as I was watching, guys, but really the 2 people on the floor that they cannot leave an open look for is Cameron Caldwell and Allie Daniels. And Allie Daniels was able to break free and get one. As we got an air ball here from Linn, and the student section is going to let her hear it. Dutch girls have pulled within 8. I'm impressed with Daniels being able to find that empty space whenever I know that Lynn's game plan has to be to guard her and guard Caldwell. Quite honestly, though, I have to also say, that Lynn's doing a great job of guarding the others on the floor, too.
Yeah.
They're playing man right now, correct?
I would say that is a man defense. That is what I would call it.
Putting the pressure on Piper Kelling, but Piper's going to get lucky here and draw the foul on 25. Just got a little too close here as we see Bryn checking back in. Still a little bit red-faced, but I imagine that Bryn just wanted a quick breather, and she got it, and she's back on the floor, which is good because we just subbed Caldwell out. I still think the shooters on the floor would probably be Bryn and Allie, and then probably next up, Lainey Moss.
Yep.
Allie works it over to Moss, works it to Ryerson, over to Barker. Very interesting. I don't know that we've seen quite this combination of players in games so far this year for the Dutch girls. I've been to a few games, but with Novak sick right now, it definitely changes the look of the team.
Yeah, definitely.
Another open 3 attempt here for the Wildcats, and they do not miss. They're not missing right now. If they get that one to fall, take it back to 11-point lead. Dutch girls are just giving up too many open looks.
Mm-hmm.
Bryn makes her move, dishes it out to Barker.
Ooh.
Blocking foul called on Linn. Going to send Bryn to the line for 2 shots. Bryn is a bull in a china shop sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
She is just looking to get to the rim, and as a coach, I mean, you got to like somebody who is not afraid to get down there and try to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
See if she can knock down these free throws right now. Gets the first one to fall. Wyatt's Train World popping into the chat. I appreciate you guys popping into the chat. Bryn gets her second free throw to fall. It's back to a 9-point game as the Dutch girls keep trying to claw back. At this point, I'm going to imagine that Linn is going to try to hold for the last shot unless they just get something absolutely open. What do you think, Jansen?
I would say that they're hardly probably even looking for anything that's open. Probably a wide open layup, and that's about it. Now we're getting into the point where any good shot's a good shot, but
yeah, 7.8 seconds left. If you get a good shot, take it.
With 20 seconds left, you're generally only looking for a layup. That's about it.
Abby Kawashio checks in with 7.8 seconds left to give Allie a little bit of a break before we get to the half here. Allie is, Abby paired up there on how to score on the Wildcats team. Unable to get it to go. Dutch girls go into half down by a score of 35-26. Honestly, pretty fortunate to come away with it being a single-digit game.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
All right, we'll go to our most recent highlight, and then we will we'll talk about what we've seen so far here. The most recent highlight looks like it was I can't remember the last bucket. Was it a Bryn Wright 3? No, it was an Allie Daniels 3. Going into halftime, as I look up at the scoreboard here, it looks like the Dutch girls are led in scoring by number 22, which I believe is Bryn Wright. She's got 11 points in this first half. And then on the Linn Wildcats side, Hofstetter got off to an unbelievable start, scoring 12 points in the first quarter, but she ends the half with 12 points as well. Gentlemen, let's talk about the Dutch girls first. What do you guys think the Dutch girls did well in that first half?
Jansen?
I would say that their 3 main scorers, Bryn Wright, Cam Caldwell, and Allie Daniels, did a great job getting some good shots up. Just maybe in the first quarter could have got a few more to fall, but, you know, it happens. And also that second quarter defense, especially on number 3, was very much improved compared to that first quarter.
Definitely, yeah.
And I would say that was probably, like I said earlier, at the end of the first quarter, I'm sure Van Leer was really preaching that number 3 cannot get a shot off. And I believe she only got off the 1-3 that I can remember right at the beginning. But after that, she was pretty well on locks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you said. I mean, they're playing really aggressive, and I like what I'm seeing. They just can't get very much to fall. That second quarter, they definitely started feeling it a lot better. So hopefully they come out of the locker room and get something to fall.
Yeah, the one thing that I want to echo that you guys said, I don't think it's a lack of hustle. I think the hustle is definitely there. I saw a hustle from every player that was on the floor. I also did see a lot of quality shots go up. Some fell, some didn't, and that's just going to happen on a nightly basis. But the one thing that I will say is a key coming out in the second half is I think I don't think, and maybe you guys can correct me, I don't believe that we saw anyone that wasn't Bryn, Allie, or Cam find the bottom of the net.
Yeah, we did not, and I would agree with that. That is probably the biggest key offensively in this second half is having somebody other than your three main scorers who Linn would be trying to probably shut down. Somebody's going to have to get hot if they want to make a comeback in this game, and we're going to have to see someone else step up and play a big role this half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's a hard thing for a team where, usually they have a couple other people that are contributing that aren't there. So it's a spot where somebody's got to come out of a role. Maybe their role is normally off the bench as a energy off the bench, a defensive specialist, or someone who's not afraid to go out there and draw a foul. But maybe their role isn't really scoring. But when you don't have these people, you got to have somebody step up that's not afraid to shoot it.
Yeah, for sure. I would say recently, especially as long as me and Owen have been in high school, it seems like for whatever reason our girls basketball team always has that 2 or 3 people that score majority of the points. Last year was mainly Allie Daniels, Cam Caldwell, and then, of course, Emma Daniels, who graduated. That was their 3. I believe in their district championship game, going into the fourth quarter, they were the only 3 people that had a bucket in a district championship game, which, I mean, it worked out for them. They made it to the Final Four, but
Yeah. I will say the one thing that, in my opinion, separates last year's team from this year's team is that I felt like you got more offensive contributions from Audrey Colascio and Anya Binkholder than right now we've seen from the 4th and 5th and 6th options for this Dutch girls squad.
yeah, for sure.
I feel like there were some nights I felt like Audrey led
Yes,
the squad in scoring.
There definitely was. There was a few nights she was somebody that when she got hot, she got hot. I mean, she could pour in a lot of points really fast, and that's always nice to have.
And it's one of those things, too, last year having Emma was a huge help, but being able to have especially those 3 that were so confident in shooting and so good at scoring, especially three-pointers, it opened up opportunities for the other 2 people that were on the floor, whoever that may be.
Yeah.
Because, they're drawing the majority of the coverage for sure. And then you have, some other people that are capable shooters. Anya became a great three-point shooter last year, I thought. Made some big key threes in certain situations. And then Audrey was another person who could shoot the 3, but also was really good at taking it to the rim. And I think that this Dutch girl squad, 1, needs to get healthy, and 2, they got to find out who those other offensive pieces are.
Sure, yeah. But I think they definitely got a lot more offensive pieces, too, when they are healthy. They got Cam Novak, who's sick, like you said, and Addie Mins, who's big on the boards. That definitely helps their offensive options a lot, for sure.
Absolutely. It just gives a little more depth to the team in general. And then I think it takes some of that pressure off those girls that are the first ones to come off the bench. They don't feel that pressure to score as much, so they might even get more opportunities and be able to score. All right, from the Linn side, obviously this is the one and probably the only time that we will see Linn this season. What did you feel like you saw from Linn in that first half?
You want to start us, Owen?
Sure. I mean, that number 3 girl, she could definitely shoot it in the first quarter. I mean, and she got that one in the second. But I think if we figure out how to stop her, I mean, I feel like we definitely good. There was a couple other girls that are shooting pretty good too, but they definitely have a lot better success finding the ball in the net than we were.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What about you, Jansen?
Well, obviously in the first quarter, number 3 had 12 points, led their team, had probably about half their points in the first quarter, which was their main fire on offense. But what was interesting to me was in the second quarter when she, of course, didn't score once. I mean, you look up at the sideboard, you see 2, 3, 3, 5, all those small point totals, they add up when you look at the other side and there's 4 zeros. And, of course, the more people you have scoring definitely helps your offense. So.
Absolutely. It takes the pressure off the people at the top for one, and then also it builds confidence with everybody else that's on the floor. And that doesn't even include the people who were not on the floor to end the half. So if I just look at that, that accounts for what you see on the score here. And I guess I could probably blow this up so you guys could see it a little bit better if I didn't have 100 things here. Let's see. That would be Cam 2. Let you guys see. This is how the half ended. And as I count up the points there for Linn, I got 12, 15, 18, and 23. So that means that there were 12 points that came off people who weren't even in the game to end the half. And everybody in the lineup that was in the lineup to end the half was scoring, whereas on our team we had 3 girls that were scoring.
Yeah, for sure.
So those are the keys I look forward to. Can we see a Dutch girl not named Cam Caldwell, not named Allie Daniels, and not named Cam Caldwell, Bryn Wright? Can we see some other contributions on the scoring end? I think that would make a big difference moving forward. Also, you see the Dutch girls make their way out to shoot here prior to the start of this quarter. Jansen, I want to ask another question since you're a basketball player and we have some different insight tonight than we normally have. What is the philosophy or the thought process on when is it appropriate to come out of the locker room? Is it sometimes the conversation is more important than getting shots up before the second half? Or are some players like, I want to get back out there and get shooting?
I would say it all depends on, what coach has to say, how long he thinks it needs to be. It's really all about whatever he thinks. Sometimes when we're playing really, really good, he might only have like a 30-second speech, keep doing what you're doing and get back out there and shoot so we can stay hot. And then there's other times where there's a lot of things they may not like that they want to go over. So I feel like it's really just whatever the coach thinks. I don't think there's a set, time or anything that teams have to come out of the locker room. It's just all about what the coach thinks is best for the situation they're in.
But really, it sounds like it's really based more on feel.
Well, yeah, for sure. It depends how the game's going, But, of course, saying that, how the game's going generally determines how the coach is thinking,
well.
Of course, yeah. So.
All right, we got this. Problem.
What's going on?
He's saying there's something like going over the scoreboard on her phone.
Over the scoreboard? Oh, that's this up here. That's the bars from the hoop that you're seeing. I'm going to pull it up here on my computer. I'll take a look at it. No, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. We just got a tip from a fan here. They were, I guess, tuned in at home, and maybe you guys could help us out here. We can only see what we see on our end, obviously. If you guys see something wrong with the scoreboard, could you give us, can you see the scoreboard? Can you see the scores? Is there something in front of the scoreboard? On our program here, I can see it just fine, but I also can't see what you guys see at home. Also, I would like to make a quick announcement, too. If you've never checked to see if you're running this at the highest quality possible, you can always hit the settings cog on the screen, and we do stream this at 1080p. So if you aren't getting that 1080p quality, all you have to do is hit the settings wheel down at the bottom and then go to quality and change that thing to 1080p. Depending on what your Wi-Fi connection is, what your internet connection is, it auto sets what it thinks it should be, but you can always change that as well. Next thing I will say as we get going here in the second half, I want to give a shout out to Chastity Men's CPA LLC again for sponsoring this broadcast as Cameron Ryerson gets the bucket to fall, and she is the fourth Dutch girl now to find the scoring column, exactly what we talked about at halftime. But back to what I was saying, Chastity Men's CPA LLC, they sponsor this broadcast for any accounting needs that you may have, maybe be small business, maybe be personal, or any tax needs you have. Make sure you check out Chastity Men's at the end of Main Street here in Owensville.
The scoreboard on my phone looks fine.
Yeah, the scoreboard that I just looked up on a YouTube feed looked good on our other monitor here. I don't know if it was a phone issue or I don't really know in particular. If anybody in the chat wants to hook us up, we would love to have some more insight on that. Does the scoreboard look good on your guys' end? Dutch girls came out and have had a great start here to the second half, guys. Get the bucket to fall by not one of the main three scorers, and also get the first defensive stop. Cam Caldwell gets the three up, and she finds the bottom. Girls go on a 5-0 run here to start this second half and pull to within 4.
Must just be the basket. That one just...
Yeah. Something wrong with the other basket here. So, Jansen, I guess that, Hofstetter just broke Allen Daniels' ankles on that one. She got the easy bucket on the layup after the first move. But I'm guessing that based on how the Dutch girls came out and started this half, that John Van Leer chose the correct amount of time to stay in the locker room.
Yeah, one could say that.
All right, the Dutch girls find Cam Caldwell under the basket, unable to get it to go on the layup, but it was a good feed from senior Bryn Wright. And these Linn Wildcats come out still hot as they knock down a three-point there and take that Dutch girls 5-0 run, have a 5-0 run themselves to return the lead to a 9-point lead here. Bryn Wright from the top of the key takes it herself with a good pump fake out to Allie Daniels, kept it and was able to get the bucket off the backboard. They feed it down low, and the Dutch girls draw a charge. Allie Daniels, that's a big pride play in basketball, isn't it, Jansen?
Yeah.
Draw that charge. That is, that's what you want to see.
I know the Van Leers specifically stressed that they always said that unless you have somebody that can go down the court and two-handed slam it, it's the best play in basketball because of the way it changes the energy and the flow of the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially if you draw on a charge on a bucket they just made. Doesn't let them put the points on the board, and it's a momentum shift. I agree. Allie Daniels gets a good step there, gets out to Cam Ryerson, who gets the three off. Oh, just a little bit long. It looked like it had the right line, just too much strength there. That would have been awesome. Still a bit too easy of a bucket there for Linn as they take it back to that 9-point lead. Dutch girls are going to have to go on a little bit of a run here. Really, ever since the first quarter, though, the Dutch girls have really tightened up, and actually, I think they've scored. If you take the first quarter out, the Dutch girls will be winning this game. Obviously, we don't get to just eliminate quarters.
I think that should be a thing. Like, take out the quarter.
Take out the quarter you don't like.
Well, the problem with that too is then you'd have to let the other team take one out, and you'd only be playing with a half.
Yeah, but like, what if we just got one? Nobody else.
What if we won 3 quarters and only lost 1 badly? That could happen.
We have done that before. I know the boys team.
Oh, that's going to be very favorable for the Dutch girls here as Lainey Moss was long on the three-point attempt. Linn tried to gather up the rebound, hit off the hands, and went out of bounds. Also want to take a second while we have 24 viewers here. If you have not subscribed to the OHS TV Studio YouTube channel yet, we would love it if you'd hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get that number up to 2,000 by the end of the school year. Cam Caldwell gets the three off, finds the bottom of the bucket. I'll take 4 more of those. Dutch girls now trail by 6. This is the closest it's been in a while, guys. We came out on that 5-0 run, and we were able to get it to 4. We get it back to 6 here. That Hofstetter, she is very confident with the dribble and taking it to the rim. She's unable to get that one to go, though, as the Dutch girls try to inch even closer here. Be a foul on number 30. Top of the key is Allie Daniels. I believe that was the first team foul for Linn. No, second team foul for Linn in the third quarter. What do you think about the rule? Is it 5 fouls in a quarter and then it's automatic go to the line?
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think about that rule in high school basketball now, Jansen? Like it? Dislike it?
I like it. I was never a big fan of the 1-and-1, which
really,
I didn't like it. I don't know why. The idea of shooting one free throw and then crashing on that free throw, and then if it goes in, having to go line back up again. I don't know why. I just never liked it.
Fair enough. It's a player's perspective for sure. The one thing that I guess I would say in defense of the 1-and-1 and what I liked about the 1-and-1 was that I feel like it gave a chance to a team who was down late to come back. Because obviously you miss that first free throw, then it's a wasted offensive trip down the floor.
I also like, too, that I like it by quarters more than by half. Not that it makes that big of a difference, but if I had to choose, I would rather fouls be counted by quarter than half.
When it was by half, how many fouls was it?
It was 7 was a 1-and-1. That was the bonus. And then the double bonus, which is where you got 2 no matter what, was at 10.
Okay. Linn gets another bucket there, extending their lead to 8. As Cam Caldwell keeps that hot hand. I said I wanted 4 more. She gave us another one. I want 3 more now. And then I don't know that I'll be satisfied after those 3, and I'll probably want more. All right, let's look at that replay that we just got there of the corner three by Cam Caldwell. Brought the score to 39-44 for the Dutch girls as they now only trail by 5. Cam Caldwell's come out with a hot hand here in this third quarter, nailing 2 3-pointers already, taking her point total up to 17 for the game. So just to give you a fill-in here on, you see our Dutch girl cheerleaders there, I'd like to kind of zoom in on the scoreboard for a second to kind of show you guys the scoring and a little bit about what we were talking about earlier. With that bucket, it takes Cam Caldwell to 17 points. You see her on the left side, player 0, she has 17 points. Player 22 is Bryn Wright with 13. Player 3 is Allie Daniels with 7. And then Cameron Ryerson came out, was able to get that bucket to get a fourth scorer on the board there. So I'm hoping to see more contributions. Oh, finish this thing off. Control of it. Cameron gets control of the ball as Linn tried to get the ball down the floor, and they hit the bottom of the rim?
I think it was the bottom of the backboard.
Okay. Well, good fortunes there for the Dutch girls here as they can maybe get closer than they've been all night. I think that was a body foul, but Piper Kelly was trying to take it down under the rim. I felt like she kind of got bodied up there a little bit, but Dutch girls retained possession as the ball was out of bounds. No foul. Get the ball into Cameron Caldwell. Feed it back down to Allie. Allie's carted heavily. Ooh. Tried to use the backboard, unable to get fall, but comes up with the rebound. Bryn Wright gets the 3 off and bang! Bryn Wright, excellent job spotting up for that 3 ball.
We're definitely starting to find it now.
Dutch girls pull within 2. Down by as many as, 14 or 15 at one point. They're now only down by 2 as now they have a trip to go down the court to either tie or take the lead as Cameron Caldwell comes away with that long rebound on the missed 3 opportunity. Kick out to Bryn Wright. Oh, I thought she was going to pop it. She did not. Kick it back out to Allie. Allie, they get a tip on that. Number 3, Hofstetter comes away with a tip. Good block there by Linn. Good hustle by Cameron Ryerson. Forces a bad shot. Dutch girls get the air ball. And same situation as before. Trying to tie it up or take the lead here as we reach the final minute of the third quarter. Here's one thing about the Dutch girls basketball team. I feel like you get a good game from them every night.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, and Cameron Ryerson draws the foul and gets to the line. Made a great cut to the basket, made a great catch on the pass, and went up strong, drew the foul.
Foul on play number 2, Nicole Relmer. At the line for 2, Cam Ryerson.
And she gets the first one to go as the Dutch girls pulled within 1 in a game that they trailed by as many as 14, maybe 15 at one point. I wish I would have paid a little closer attention to that. But usually when we trail by a lot, I don't want to pay as much attention. I just want us to score more. Cameron Ryerson ties this thing up. Absolutely great job by Cameron Ryerson, sophomore, coming in and scoring 4 points in this third quarter, taking some of that pressure off those 3 seniors. Great job, Cam. Oh, man, Hofstetter is quick. Use that backboard, but unable to get it going, then a block by Daniels. Dutch girls look to take the lead. Cameron Caldwell has an open 3, and she nails it!
They're definitely finding it now.
I think Cameron knows how many I asked for.
Maybe.
We need 2 more now, Cam. Holy smokes, Caldwell is lighting up the scoreboard from the 3-point line here in this third quarter. They get off a 3 ball themselves, are unable to get it to go, and the Dutch girls are going into the fourth quarter with a 3-point lead in a game where they trailed by as many as 15. Wow. Okay. So they did it. They did.
Yeah.
They came out after half. My goodness. Unbelievable. Let's check out that last replay as Cameron Caldwell got the hot hand here in the third quarter. Man, so many things to be excited about in that third quarter. Getting to see sophomore Cameron Ryerson come away with some points. And then Cameron Caldwell go absolutely on fire. As we pull up the scoreboard following that third quarter. Okay, I'm sold. I actually really like the scoreboard because I really like to be able to do this to show you guys all the points and things like that. 0 Caldwell for the Dutch girls, now leads in scoring with 20 points. She has 2 fouls, so we don't want to see her get any more foul trouble. But 2 going into the fourth quarter is really not that big a deal. You get, what, 5, right, Jansen?
Yes, your 5th one is when you're done.
And then Bryn Wright is adding on to a great scoring night. She's got 16 points as number 22 for the Dutch girls. Allie still with that 7. And Cam Ryerson putting up a big 4 spot there for the Dutch girls. Absolutely love to see it. You know, after that first quarter from Hofstetter where she was extremely locked in, it feels like the Dutch girls have done a good job shutting her down. So Jansen mentioned that the message from Coach Van Leer was probably not to let her get a good shot off, and maybe that's what they've done. Jansen, I think you might have a career in coaching ahead of you.
I don't know that I'd be a very good coach.
I don't trust anything Jansen tells me.
Well, it looks like Jansen's had some good takes on what he's seen tonight as Bryn Wright comes away with a steal, and the Dutch girls look to add to this victory, and that's what we want to see. She thought about popping the 3. She gave the head fake. Allie backs off, lets the offense set up. Dutch girls don't have to be in a hurry by any means with a lead. However, it isn't a very big lead. Let's make it a 2-possession game here as Allie gives the head fake, gets the move, takes it to the hoop, and she gets it to fall. She sets up for a 3-point play of herself. Allie's getting ready to break into the double-digit scoring column here with this free throw as the Dutch girls now have turned the tables and they lead by 5. So, Jansen, let's play the other side of this thing here. If you're Linn, obviously things have not gone well since half. What is the mindset for Linn? How does Linn turn it around?
Well, I'd say on defense, you just got to shut down our 3 main scorers. I mean, I'd say that was probably the plan going in, and I would say that hasn't changed. And then offensively, I'd say they just got to keep moving the ball, trying to find the offense they had in the first quarter because they've scored as many points in the first quarter as they have, I believe, since.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I think they were on pace for 80 at the end of the...
I believe it was 22-9.
Ooh. No! Dang it.
Just got away.
Just got away is an unlucky turnover there for the Dutch girls. Dutch girls lead by 6. But I agree with you, Jansen. I think from a mental standpoint, it's sort of like baseball in a way. You just got to flush it and move on and try to recapture that success that you were having in the first quarter as the Dutch girls were hoping for a jump ball call there, but instead they get a foul on Caldwell. Ooh. I'm not sure that I agree with that one.
Yeah,
like she had ball to me.
I'd say that right there was what Linn wanted. It looked like, I don't know if number 25 just had trouble grabbing the ball. I don't know what happened there. It was it seemed like she had a wide open layup and it just didn't work out for him. But I'd say that's the look they're wanting. Looks like they're trying to get it to her again, too.
Allie has such great body and ball control. The way she was able to stop on a dime there, continue her dribble, and bring it back up the court. Definitely great ball handling skills. Finds Caldwell underneath the hoop, and Caldwell gets that to fall. That's the shot that wasn't falling in the first half. We had feeds down low and it just kind of rolled around and came out, but maybe Owen was right. Maybe it's the hoop.
I think it must be.
Hofstetter unable to get that one to go. Allie comes away with the rebound. You know, I'm sure the other teams get tired of hearing Caldwell, Daniels, and Wright. Cameron Ryerson has the ball, dishes it off to Wright, who drives and gets blocked by Hofstetter. Absolutely great defensive play there by Linn. Got a timeout here by Linn as it looked like Hofstetter was a little bit bottled up there, trapped. We'll show the most recent highlight here in just a moment as Owen zooms in on our cheerleading squad here. And then now over to the Dutch girl bench, and here is the highlight.
You got it right here. The girls play Monday night at
Cameron Caldwell gets the feed down low and able to get that bucket to fall. And guys, I want to hear your opinion on this. That last bucket that Caldwell had under the hoop, I feel like we had those opportunities, especially in the first quarter, and we just weren't able to capitalize on them. Whereas now it seems like those things are starting to fall.
Yeah, definitely.
With 5:31 left to go in this fourth quarter, the Dutch girls lead by 8 by a score of 52-44. Let's take some predictions here. Obviously, I think there's a pretty high likelihood that the Dutch girls score into the 60s. Definitely. I'd say 70s, not super likely, but we could see it if they got really hot and if they got to the free throw line a lot because Linn had to foul.
I would say it's going to be in the 60s would be my guess, but, I mean, crazier things have happened. I mean, they could very well end up in the 70s.
All right, I'm going to put the over-under. You tell me what you think, gentlemen. I'm going to put the over-under at 62.5. They score an over or under 62.5?
Oh, I think under.
Always taking the under, Jansen?
I guess I'll take the over.
All right. Well, somebody will win. Let's see who wins. And then that's who I will ask if I ever need to make a bet in the future. That one's going to be unkind off the rim. And the Dutch girls are going to...
I'm telling you, it's something about that basket.
You know, if we're able to do a post-game interview, that's going to be my first question. Was it the basket?
Had to be.
I do like doing post-game interviews because I feel like I have lots of questions. I like to know what the players are thinking out on the floor. Bryn works it down low to Allie, who was pretty well covered, was able to secure the pass. Dutch girls are definitely taking their time a little bit more now. I'm starting to worry about this 62.5 over, Jansen. Oh, no way! I was going to say that's got to be backcourt. Great hustle there from Lainey Moss. I thought that was for sure going out of bounds, but she was able to secure it. As we have 27 viewers live right now, 25. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Again, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, would really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. And again, once again, shout out to Chastity Men's CPA LLC for sponsoring this broadcast. For anybody that sponsors a broadcast, we go ahead and do that broadcast for the game. So we appreciate your support, Chastity, of the OHS TV studio program, and then also being able to come out here and broadcast the game. Dutch girls look to add to their 8-point lead. What a change in this game we have gotten to see. Dutch girls work it around. They're at the point now with the lead. They're going to make sure that when they shoot, it's a great shot. See, this is the part of the game where I sort of liked, if I was in Linn's situation, I would have liked the and one because it'd be okay to start giving some fouls here now. And if you start pulling it closer, as Allie Daniels says they're not going to pull it closer and drops in the layup, at least they could play the foul game and try to get some missed free throws. But I get your end of it too. I never thought of it that way because, well, I wasn't a player.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about the 1-and-1. I was never a fan. I was glad they got rid of it.
Number 5 for Linn had a pretty open look. They were giving it to her just beyond the free throw line and was not able to find rim on that one. Hurt a little bit for the student section as the Dutch girls now lead by 10 with 3 to go.
I'm liking the under right now.
Yeah, the under is looking real good.
I think we need to score some.
It was 62.5, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Oh,
Cameron Ryerson, let's go! Oh, just a little strong. Need a little more touch on that layup attempt. Oh, was unable to draw the charge. You could tell Laney was trying to draw the charge. So for the viewers at home, Jansen, can you help explain this? Because I feel like I do a terrible job of explaining it. Why was that a blocking foul and not a charge?
Most likely, a lot of it has to do with the difference between most blocks and most charges is if you have to be set in the spot before contact is made, and you have to fall when contact is made. And generally, depending on how much contact there is, you have to fall fairly straight.
Oh, okay.
So if you if you're late or if you fall before contact, they're going to call it a block, or they should call it a block. Sometimes they get it wrong, but that's the main difference, though, is being set and making sure you fall at the right time.
Very interesting. I didn't know anything about the falling at the right time. The getting your feet set, I've always known that. But I guess when you're shuffling and you're trying to get set, it's hard to get that feet planted and actually draw that contact. See the Dutch girls down here. Dutch girls cheer squad. Give you our most recent replay here while we still have a break going on. I believe it's going to be this Allie Daniels drive to the rim and score, I think. Yeah, Allie Daniels makes that jab step that she's so good at, and then a little bit of a, I think I would call that a Euro maybe. For it to be a Euro, do you have to take the ball up?
To me, the Euro, all I've ever thought a Euro was just your feet,
the 3 steps.
Like the double, yeah, like the side step almost.
It looked on that play, and Allie, if you ever go back and rewatch this and hear me talking about this right now, will you please let me know if that was a Euro? It looked like you had the footwork of a Euro, but I just feel like every time I see a Euro, especially like in the NBA, on that second step, they always take the ball up high and then out and around and finish. I try to do it in the gym when I'm by myself, and it's so embarrassing. I would never want anybody to see me try that. I can tell you right now, it does not look good. Travel on Ryerson here. She felt like she was guarded pretty heavily, was trying to get some space. Wasn't able to keep that foot planted. .208 remains in the game. Dutch Girls up by 7. This one's certainly not over. Dutch Girls are going to have to play some good defense as Hofstetter tries to take it herself, but literally just has the ball taken away from her by Caldwell. Great steal by Caldwell. Saw her opportunity, didn't make contact with the body or the arm, just took the ball. Daniels works in the backcourt with some good dribbling. She draws the foul. And we might be getting to the point where we're going to start playing the foul game, but the problem for Linn is that's only their second team foul this quarter. Interesting thought here, Jansen, and this is me. Any natural basketball people would probably not like what I'm about to say, but there's a part of me that wishes, like in this point, as a viewer, I didn't just have to watch them get their 5 fouls. I wish they could just foul and be like, we want this to be our 5th foul.
I don't know. I feel like that'd be a weird rule to add, though.
It would definitely be a weird rule, and I think basketball purists would not like it for sure. Just like I always get a little bit weirded out when they try to change baseball too much.
Yeah,
but
I feel like most sports, there's so much formative to it that they try not to change the main points of the game. Like in the NBA, talk about like the 4-point line. I feel like the only reason that has been added, even though it might make the game different, is I feel a lot of people like to keep the game the same. They don't like to change it too much.
Yeah, a 4-point line would be a very drastic change. Speaking of the NBA, as we have a moment to talk here, I have heard a lot of chatter and sports talk in the sports world about how the 3-pointer in the NBA is to the point where it's too easy, and teams are centering their offense too much around shooting that 3-pointer as Cameron Caldwell gets the first one to go. And wanted to inspire that, action under the hoop, dunks, driving, physicality. They feel like the physicality is not quite as in the game anymore. What's your take on that, Jansen? Do you feel like if they expanded and made the 3-point line further away, would people just adjust and start shooting further away? Or do you think it would actually introduce maybe a level of physicality in the game that we haven't seen maybe since, early 2000s, 90s?
I think it would change the lower levels, like per se high school. There would definitely be, of course, less people that would be able to shoot it from the 3-point line. But I think in the NBA, them guys put so much time into their shooting abilities. If they move the 3-point line back, guys like Trae Young, Steph Curry, Luka, they'd be able to adapt to it, because
some of them are shooting from further anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it might change high school basketball, but I think the NBA would be very the difference between the high school and the NBA, though, is the NBA definitely looks at stats, I think, a lot more. And in the NBA, they've discovered that unless you're right under the hoop, the next most efficient form of scoring is the three ball. So that's what teams, like you said, are building around. So I think it would all come down to what the numbers showed. If they did change something like that, I think after a couple years you would see some changes into how the game is played for sure.
Yeah, it's always interesting to think about like a really big change to the actual game like that and how it would change. I think it's always interesting to me. I know that when the gather step back three kind of got introduced, you saw James Harden and those guys really start utilizing that step. Into a lot of basketball purists, it looked like a travel because it just looks so goofy taking that giant step back. It's really became more of a part of the game now, but it is still strange to look at. But the players saw the rules, they were told the rules, how the rule was changed, and they made changes, and it made the entire game look different when it came to that aspect, as it was a great take there by Hofstetter, but she's unable to get it to go.
I don't know, Owen. I'm not really liking the. I kind of just picked the over because you picked the under. I'm not liking my.
Maybe it was my fault. Maybe I set the over/under at a bad spot.
No, I think Jansen's just wrong.
I think I should just. I shouldn't have let Owen influence my decision. I should have put a little more thought into it.
That's what I would say if I was wrong too, Jansen. It's okay.
I love the friendly banter. I love it when Owen gets on somebody's case, especially.
It's only Jansen.
Oh, no. I've heard you get on Matt's case. I've seen the podcast, especially when Matt starts singing.
Okay.
Owen's always the first one
though.
to be ready to shut that down.
Turn it off.
My favorite one was the one I just listened to where he was singing Tom Petty. Oh, goodness. For those that don't know, these guys have a podcast, and at the start of every one of their podcasts, Matt Eckelkamp just starts singing songs. And, I mean, if you were to rate Matt's singing ability, where are you guys rating at? 1 out of 10?
Depends what song.
I think we have to go somewhere below the 1. I think we might have to dip into the negatives on that one. It's kind of rough.
Oh, gosh. It's times like these, guys. You'll look back and you'll always remember there'll be times like these. And I don't know what just happened.
I was not paying
attention. It was
attention.
something to do with clock. Apparently we're playing with 37 minutes and 50 seconds.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, gosh. They got plenty of time to come back now. There we go, 37.5.
I believe they didn't start the clock because the clock was still at 40.5. And now I believe the ref just stopped the play and took 3 seconds off of it.
Most underappreciated person in the basketball gym is the person running the score clock, in my opinion.
Oh.
That is a stressful job. I did it for middle school basketball. I've never done it for high school basketball.
Okay, now we just need to not score so I can get the under.
Well, was it 62.5, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's where Jansen could make his comeback. Here late in game, it's just going to depend on how much they're willing to foul. They are down 11, though, so I
think we got this game locked up. I don't think Lynn's going to make a comeback, so now I'm kind of hoping that Linn disagrees with me right now. I'm hoping they think they got this comeback coming, and they keep fouling to the last second. But I personally would say that if Linn does not score, even if they do score on this next possession, I bet they just let the clock run out because 23 seconds is not enough time to score 13 points.
No.
The line at 62.5 is pretty good, actually.
It was a
Yeah,
solid
it got close. It got close to it. And the Dutch girls do hit 60 tonight.
Killer of the line was right when you said it. There was about that 2-minute period where we kind of just held the ball from about 5 minutes to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Where possession really did not change, and that hurt my chances on the line. But maybe we got the JV team, and maybe one of them will go get themselves a 3.
Kelling comes down with a rebound, and it looks like that's going to be the last rebound of the game, potentially.
Probably, yeah.
Somebody needs
Are they going to foul?
some points.
Somebody puts up a 3 right now. I'm going to lose my crap.
I'll be mad.
Kylie just throws it behind her back. Jansen gets the dub. All right, let's zoom in on these girls as they shake it up. The Dutch girls get a win to improve to 2-0 at home so far on the year. Would you guys mind staying here for just a minute while I try? You guys keep the conversation going, talk about the game. You guys can badmouth me if you need. Don't say anything too bad. Don't get me fired. I'll try to go get a couple girls for an interview.
All right.
Sounds good.
You guys got it.
Okay, so Owen here. The first question I have for you is, What do you think the counter was on your throughout the broadcast?
Oh, it's got to be at least over 20 by a good bit.
There was that point where you said something about me not saying anything. I don't remember if it was still during the JV game. I was thinking to myself, all you've really said, Owen, is, yeah, you said the same two things over and over again. And yeah, definitely.
I mean, that was a pretty good answer to most things. So
we had a lot of, what is that called, like a confirmation statement, like a yes.
Yeah.
You had to have been in the hundreds on number of those tonight.
Hey, at least I'm saying something. You're not saying anything, so.
Well, I feel like you added the support commentary when Mr. T was going on his little speeches.
Yeah.
And I maybe had a little more actual basketball talk. You just kind of with
the only basketball I play is NBA 2K with LeBron James.
Hey,
who do you think's the best basketball player ever? Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Michael Jordan.
No, LeBron.
Michael Jordan.
LeBron.
Prime Michael Jordan would make LeBron cry.
LeBron doesn't cry.
I think we need to get some YouTube clips pulled up of LeBron crying.
Can we watch LeBron edits, please?
The one of him where he's grabbing his arm after he got
probably hurt.
Arm slapped out. And then Patrick Beverly going up to the ref with the camera and trying to show him what just happened.
I mean, yeah, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, you wouldn't have seen Jordan do nothing like that.
I don't know.
He's not soft.
I don't know. LeBron is pretty tough.
I don't think he's Jordan tough by any means, though.
I don't know. Pretty tough.
Either way, LeBron is not stopping Michael Jordan.
LeBron is stopping Michael Jordan every day.
What do you think, Andrew Brown? Who's the better basketball player, Michael Jordan or LeBron?
Yeah, see?
Andrew
LeBron James. Okay.
So
we got to get Mr. T's input. Oh, Andrew's on here now. That's scary.
Respectfully, Andrew has no clue what he's talking about.
No, Andrew's got elite ball knowledge. Trust.
Are you like Owen, where all your ball knowledge comes from 2K? Who has more what? Jordan.
Who's the all-time scoring leader? Who's the all-time scoring leader?
Who has more rings while he's playing LeBron is better than Jordan. Jordan was 6-0.
Jordan played plumbers.
Played plumbers? Owen, if you played basketball in the 90s,
I'd probably be Michael Jordan. No, I'd probably be Michael Jordan.
I don't know about that one, Owen. I don't know about that.
Yeah, you see me almost dunking earlier? Yeah, I thought so.
Almost dunking is crazy.
I mean, you saw it, didn't you?
Well, we did. You grabbed on the rim, and then we threw a basketball through it. I don't think.
Yeah, and it hit me in the top of the head, so. I mean, that's pretty much a dunk, so.
Yeah. The fire YouTube short
Check
content
the mic.
that we made.
For some reason, port 2 wasn't working before the game, but now it sounds great. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Owen and Jansen, do you want to be part of these interviews as well, or would you guys like to do?
I don't know.
It's your call.
Jansen's talking about Michael Jordan, LeBron James, so.
Yeah, who do you got, Mr. T? Who's better?
To me, it's really not a question. It's Michael Jordan.
Thank you.
I don't know. LeBron James is pretty good.
LeBron James is fantastic. Here's the thing that I will say about the LeBron James, Michael Jordan thing. I think it's a shame that I'm not taking away from LeBron. LeBron is obviously one of the all-time greats. But to be the greatest, it's not a knock on LeBron to say you're not the greatest of all time. There can only be one greatest of all time. You can still be really great. I just don't think he's the greatest.
I don't know. I do.
You think he is, Owen?
I don't know. I only play 2K every once in a while, so I don't really know.
Owen likes his stats more on 2K.
So
yeah.
Okay. There's a guy on the basketball team for the boys. He's a sophomore, Braden Perkins. He is a LeBron lover. He loves LeBron. And me and him got into a lot of debates. I played devil's advocate with him a lot last year. And here's my case for Jordan. Jordan led the league in scoring. It was like 9 times. Jordan also played all 82 games in a season like 6 times, something like that. Jordan missed hardly no playing time at all. I think that it's fair to say that LeBron James has had the best longevity ever.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
But I also think that part of the reason he's had the longevity is purely because of the rest he's taken in the regular season, which is just, at this point in time, we know that that's smart to do that because it does lengthen your career. LeBron's also obviously been incredibly fortunate to not have injury. Really, MJ didn't really have injury either. But here's how I judge it. I think at MJ's peak was much higher than LeBron's peak. MJ was that much more dominant when he was the best than when LeBron was the best. It's arguable. You could argue it.
Give me your top 5 NBA players ever.
Oh, this is so hard. Oh, my goodness. I have a really hard time with this one. I really want to include Tim Duncan in my top 5. I don't really know where I would put him at in my top 5. You know, if Ray Allen doesn't hit that three-pointer for the Miami Heat, then Tim Duncan is also 6-0 in the NBA Finals as well. Tim Duncan was amazing down low. I don't know if he's top 5, though. I think you start talking about, like, you know, a lot of the older players. I think that you got obviously Kobe is in that conversation. Kobe was a really high volume guy, but he did take over games. If we're talking about pure dominance, it's really hard to not include Shaquille O'Neal.
What about Larry Bird?
It gets hard for me because I didn't watch those guys play. Mm-hmm. It's hard for me to speak on it because I feel like I'm not speaking with any kind of conviction because I don't know. I didn't really get to watch Larry Bird play. Mm-hmm. I think Larry Bird is obviously a great choice. I think Kareem is a great choice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys in that conversation. Jansen, what about you? What's your basketball knowledge on that topic?
Top 5, definitely Jordan 1, LeBron 2, probably Kobe 3. I'll go Tim Duncan 4 and Shaq 5. That'll be my top 5.
Okay. I respect it. I mean, it's hard to argue. If we're going with people that I've personally watched, Kobe, Shaq, and Tim Duncan are probably after Jordan, LeBron for me. And I will throw a caveat in there. I do think that Steph Curry's not far off. I think he's top 10 for me, and the only reason why is because I think he changed the game. I think you can make the argument that Steph Curry has changed the game more than LeBron because I think that he's changed the way teams approach how to play the game. I mean, LeBron didn't have as big of an effect on the way people play, I think, as Steph has. I also think the thing about Steph that is just so intriguing is that he can shoot from so deep. The spacing that he allows on the floor for the rest of his team, I don't know that there's another player that's quite like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's interesting, too. Who do you think's the better I haven't heard it in a while, but the debate I always heard was who's the best point guard of all time. Who do you think that is? Well,
I think people who have seen Magic Johnson play would probably say Magic Johnson. And I think that's fair. I think the role of point guard in the NBA, and I've heard like Rajon Rondo say this, the role of point guard in the NBA is not the same as it used to be. You know, it used to be the floor general. Scoring really wasn't that big of a deal. They were more of a facilitator. John Stockton was, I think he's got the most assists of all time. Is that correct?
Yep.
I would say that some people would probably say John Stockton. I guess during my time, if we're talking about like pure point guards and we're not really factoring shooting into it as much, it's hard to argue with Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul's, when it comes to playing the point, I think he's like the prototypical classic point guard that I actually got to watch play. I'm not saying he's better than Magic Johnson. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's better than John Stockton. I'm just saying I didn't get to see those guys play. It looks like some of the girls are starting to make their way up here now, and we've got 4 of them. So we'll try to go through them rather quickly. Do you guys want to stay or no?
We'll let them have the headset.
Perfect. Okay.
They've heard enough of us.
Well, Jansen and Owen signing out. They did a great job tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Actually, those other guys headed off, so could you guys get in here real quick and just give me a quick wave on this camera? Owen, get in here real quick. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, thanks, guys. We'll do the 3 seniors first, and then Cam, I'll do you last. That work? All right.
Dang,
we're gonna get it.
Jason's got a big old head.
Do what?
Jason's got a big head.
All right.
Live?
This is live, and we have.
I'm sorry, Jansen.
We still have 17 viewers. If we could turn, I'll try to slide out this way as I can. You guys can try to fill the screen here.
I don't know which way to turn.
Is this the camera?
This is the camera right here that's on us.
Okay.
God, why do I gotta be...
Okay, so first off, I think I have to say congratulations. Great game tonight, girls. Very
Thank
exciting.
Thank you.
I have questions for all of you. As I watch you guys play, I just think of more things to ask you that I can't wait to talk to you about after the game. I'll start with Allie. Allie, first off, I went to Osage County's Facebook page today, and I noticed that one of their players is also committed to Ottawa. Is that true?
Kiana.
Oh, is that Linn?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. Osage's Linn.
Okay, I was kind of lost to it.
Sorry. I should have been more
like
clear.
The Osage that we played last year. No, yeah, the girl that I was guarding is going.
Number
She committed-
3?
Yeah, she committed to Ottawa, I think today is when her signing day was.
Okay, yeah, because I saw that on their Facebook. It was really confusing because I made your picture of your commitment from there the thumbnail for this broadcast, and I went to their Facebook page to post that we were, broadcasting this, and I saw a picture. I'm like, what is Allie doing there? I'm like, oh, that's not Allie, but it's like the same format of a picture.
Yeah, no, she
Is-
got my teammate. Yeah.
Is her last name Hofstetter? Because if not, that's what I was saying all night.
I just call her Kiana.
I had a roster and then I lost it, so I don't know what her last name is. But anyways, I thought that was really interesting. What was it like getting to play against somebody that you're going to be teammates with in the future?
I mean, it's just kind of really neat to be able to do something like that.
Can you pull that a little closer? It bends. You can just, there you go. It was really neat.
Yeah, it was really neat. I mean, I've played with her in the summer, ever since I started my Phenom organization, so I kind of known what it's like for a long time.
Very cool. And in the first quarter, I'll keep this question with Alan, and we'll move down the line. The first quarter, it felt like they couldn't miss. And it felt like she, in particular, was on fire. She had 12 in the first quarter. What was it like guarding her, and then what adjustments did you guys have to make?
So in our scouting report, we were supposed to be forcing up on the screen that they were setting because she's known to do that, shoot off of the screen, and we weren't doing that. Finally in the second half, I figured it out and pretty much just stopped letting her do that, stopped letting her go right. Kind of canceled out the opportunity to do that, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, because you guys definitely made adjustments. We were talking about that up here, and that was something that was quite clear coming into the second half because there was a whole different ballgame in the second half.
I got her butts chewed, yeah.
Okay, next question. I'll move on to Bryn. Bryn, I have a question for you. It's kind of a team question. I have a question personally for you. The team question is, when you go into the locker room at halftime, we were talking about what is the appropriate amount of time to stay in there. Do you want to come out and shoot quick, or is the conversation more important than the shooting? And as we were waiting, they came out like 2 minutes before you guys. I assume they wanted to keep the hot hand. I don't really know what's the philosophy, and I guess Coach had a lot to say to you guys.
Yeah, I guess that depends on the game. In our instance, we needed to talk more. We needed to get more in the right mindset, and Coach is getting us in there. I guess that's why it took 2 more minutes than them.
I guess sometimes the conversation and the reset is probably more beneficial than just going to getting shots up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes
for
I think
sure.
it's
Yeah.
for like a break, too.
Yeah, I think we needed
Just a
a
reset.
breather.
Yeah.
Okay, next question specifically for you here. There was a play in the game where you went up for a shot, weren't able to get it to go. You kind of drew some contact, and you ended up on the floor. And then they came down, and you were the last one to come down for us, but you sprinted down and came up with the rebound and then turned around and ran it right back up. Where does that energy come from, and how do you not wear yourself out at a game, Bryn?
Oh, I do get worn out. So I guess it comes from passion, wanting to play. I was down on the floor, got up, saw the ball, went after it, and see my teammates pass to them. I mean, the game just doesn't stop. Like, I gotta
She just
keep
thinks ball all the
going.
time.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
the last
you're-
interview, I was
Always.
like ball or squirrel and dog.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that.
Go. Yes. Yeah,
My
there
dad
was,
made a shirt for that.
really? That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Very fitting. Very fitting. I'll go to Cam now. So Cam, I have another team question for you, and then I'll get to a personal question on how you played. The team question is from a mindset. I mean, we were talking the broadcast. At one point, they were on pace for 80 points in the first quarter. How do you get past that and realize we have shots that we're getting up. We're having good shots get up. They're not falling, and we can get those shots to fall. We just haven't yet. And I think in the first quarter they also banked in a 3. So not only did they shoot great, but they also had some fortune. As a player, what is that like on the floor, and how do you overcome it?
I mean, we just got to step back and realize at the end it's just a basketball game.
we get in our heads a lot, but we just got to calm down because we know our shots are going to fall. They're going to go on runs. We're going to go on runs. But in the end, as long as you just try hard and get back to it.
Absolutely. I never feel like this team is out of it, no matter what the score is. I think you guys were down by as many as 14 at one point.
More than that.
And then I think you led by as many as 12 at one point, so a huge turnaround in the game. And the last question I have for you is, you guys come out in the second half, and if you go back and watch this, I was really hyped up when you were hitting threes. But when you guys were in that third quarter, you hit 3 threes in the third quarter. And when you are getting into that zone, do you feel it? You notice, like, get me the ball, I want to shoot, or is it still this? Is it the same? Is it, if I got the shot, I'm going to take it?
I think I'm pretty much. I mean, it's definitely in the back of my head. Like, I need to shoot this. Like, if it's coming to me, it's going up. But I think I'm pretty even. Like, if it's not my shot, I'll be like, oh no, don't give it to me. Yeah, sometimes we have to tell her to shoot.
Yeah. Well, keep shooting them because you got a great shot. And girls, this is only the second home game. What the heck?
I know.
Yeah, I know. And I'm pretty sure
It's
Blair
sad.
Oaks and Salem are dropping us. And those were 2 of our other home games.
They won't reschedule with us.
Really? Well, I hope that from a scheduling standpoint, we're able to get a couple more on the schedule for here. But you're 2-0 at home, and I've enjoyed watching you, and I want to watch more.
Yeah, we want to play.
We want to play more.
Well, good luck the rest of the way out. I'm going to pass it off. Lainey, will you stay up here with us?
Yes, of course.
You can pass it off to the other 2 starters this evening. I'd love to have a conversation with those as well. Good luck, girls, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here we go. You got my
Sweaty, yeah.
there's actually sorry, no, I saw. Sorry. Are these the same ones we wear during podcast?
Do what?
Are these the same?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, God. I'm cleaning these tomorrow.
All right, if you girls could slide down just a little bit, try to get you guys on camera here. Okay, so first off, congratulations on a win. Super exciting. And was tonight your guys' first starts ever?
It wasn't mine.
It wasn't my first start. Well, this team it is, but yeah.
It was her first start.
Yeah.
First varsity start tonight? Very cool. Well, congratulations. Super exciting to see you guys get out there and see the floor a lot. I know it was, I guess Cam Novak is sick right now.
Yeah.
And then obviously we're battling a few injuries, but you guys really stepped up and played a huge role tonight. I'm going to start with Cam Ryerson, and then I'll go with Linn. I like to work my way down. So Cam, what I wanted to say is during halftime, one of the things that me, Jansen, and Owen were talking about a lot was in the first half, it was Bryn, Allie, and Cam Caldwell that carried the scoring. And we're like, we want to see another girl come out and get on that scoring column, take some pressure off those 3 seniors. And right off the bat, you came out and you hit a jumper, and then you also got to the line and made 2 free throws. How does that make you feel in that moment when you're able to come out and score right in the second half in a spot where you guys really need to come back?
Yeah. I was like trying to be more focused. Like I thought I was pretty focused in the first half, but after obviously didn't feel that great to be down by that much at half. But when I came out, I was like, I'll just get some shots up, like try to get warm again, try and figure it out, get out of my head a lot, and then figure it out from there. So whenever I made the basket, I mean, like, you always get that, like, boost energy where you're like, oh, let's go play defense. Like,
sure.
Just try to keep it even, though, like, not play too fast and, like, just to keep it steady.
Absolutely. And then my next question for you is, both of you got to be a part of an amazing run last year, and I think you guys are absolutely capable of an amazing run this year. What has it been like getting to play with the seniors that are on this team, learning from them, and then getting to take the floor with them on a night like tonight?
Yeah, so last year we had a lot of good players, and I think that definitely made us better. I think, like, to have the opportunity to play with some good basketball players, they're all good basketball players. Kim Novak's not here, but, like, I guard her a lot in practice, and I think that definitely makes me better. Just the opportunity is great to have.
Absolutely. And it definitely seems like you guys are taking advantage of those opportunities. All right, Lainey, as you stated, this isn't your first varsity start, and you played a pretty crucial role in a lot of those games down the stretch coming off the bench last year. How has your role changed from last year coming into this year, and how do you view yourself differently as a player last year as opposed to this year?
Last year, I definitely came in as a sub more for our guards, and I feel like this year, since, I mean, Cam Novak's the tallest girl on our team, I really had to step it up and learn how to go out there and guard these 6-foot girls that are way taller than me. So I feel like that's probably the biggest difference is instead of me just being a role player, going out there playing defense, like I have to go out there, guard these girls that are 6 to 10 inches taller than me sometimes. And then on the offensive side, I'm definitely looking more to shoot the ball. And, I mean, I shot a 3 tonight, but.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So just from watching last year, I had Anya in class a lot last year. It sounds to me, based off what you've told me, that you're doing some of the stuff that, like, Anya Binkholder had to do last year, guarding people that were much bigger than her, and you're doing a great job at it.
Oh, yeah. I definitely remember Anya saying, I have all these bruises down my arms. And I exactly know what she's talking about now because now I have all these bruises down my arms.
Absolutely. Yeah, when you're playing down low like that, then, yeah, it's going to get that way. And the last question I have for you here, and you guys can both chime in on this, but obviously you guys were part of an amazing team last year. But my question is, what does this year's team bring to the table that last year's team that just makes this year's team different? Not necessarily better, but what is different about this year's team, and what do you guys bring to the table that you guys didn't have last year?
I mean, honestly, people numbers. Because last year we definitely had to practice a lot with the freshman boys, and, like, they helped a lot. But this year, every single practice, we're able to go up and down 5-on-5.
We couldn't scrimmage last year without the coaches, like, almost every practice. So, like, it's definitely helpful to have, like, all the other younger freshmen and players who have joined this year come out and help during practice, like, because they're part of the team. Like, everyone has a spot. And I think that it definitely helps being able to scrimmage and use the full court.
I mean, everybody has a role on the team, whether you get varsity minutes or not. Like, it truly does help.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play much last year. It's just what I had to do, but I definitely think I still improved, and I definitely got better for this season. And now I'm here, so it definitely still matters.
And we have Bryn this year.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's back. She's healthy.
Yes, that makes a big difference. Yeah. Last thing I want you guys here, because those girls that we're just talking are obviously going to graduate. You guys are going to be carrying the torch next year. What do you say to those girls that are in middle school right now that may be watching this or look up to you guys or come out to the games? Why do those girls need to come out and play high school basketball?
I mean, like, tonight we got down, I don't even know, well.
I think it was 15 at one point.
Yeah,
it might have been higher than that.
I mean, and sure, we got a little scolding at a timeout, but Coach Van Leer never once, like, yelled at us, blamed at us. Like, he's like, well, look where you guys.
That's better.
Yeah, look where you're at. He's like, let's get out of it. Like, only encouraging things come out of its mouth, and I think that's definitely something that, like, keeps us going.
Yeah. I think, like, our year coming up, I mean, we're the only sophomores. We lost a lot of players, a lot of good players. And, I mean, I wasn't the best, like, when I was younger or whatever, but I definitely think if you stick with it and you get, like, you do your own thing, you get better, you do everything you can, that it's definitely all worth it. And I mean, if you're questioning playing your high school career, then a lot of people who question that usually don't play in college. So, like, it's 4 years of high school.
Enjoy it.
If you think you're going to miss it, then don't take the chance.
Absolutely.
No, like, these are 4 years you're never going to get back, so you might as well just make yourself busy, get yourself involved in these things because it is fun. I mean, sometimes it's like, oh, I really don't want to go to practice today, but then, like, wins like this really bring it back, and you're like, I really love this team, I love the environment, I love being here.
Absolutely. Well, girls, congratulations. I'm excited I get to watch you guys for 2 more years yet, even after this year, but I'm really excited to see how this year pans out. So good luck down the stretch, and thanks for joining me on the broadcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, girls. And, yeah, you guys can just leave those there.
That is so weird.
Yeah, it's weird having it in your ears, isn't it?
No, that was my first time, and I was like,
I actually felt it. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I usually have Coach Dave or some others up here with me, but we'll go ahead and wrap it up. They're cleaning the bleachers. It's been a great night here at OHS. Dutchgirls victory on the varsity side. Very proud of these girls. Only their second home game of the year. If you haven't been able to make it out to a game so far this year, I highly encourage you, if you're able to, come and watch these girls. They're a lot of fun. They obviously had an amazing run last year, and I think they're poised to be able to do the same thing. They got a lot of grit, a lot of heart, and they're never going to give you a game where they're not giving you effort. So encourage the community, come out, support these girls. And thanks for tuning in to the broadcast. Last thing I should say is thank you to Chastity Men's for the sponsorship of this broadcast with Chastity Men's CPA LLC. Again, if you have any accounting or tax needs, please make sure that you see her. She is located at the end of Main Street. And we are excited to do our next broadcast. We got a wrestling meet, I believe, next week. And I think we're done with basketball for January, possibly. I'm not 100% sure. I don't have the schedule memorized in my head, but you can check our Facebook page for the calendar of events, and you will definitely see us on broadcast again. Again, I want to say shout out to those people that were on cameras tonight helping us out. We had Jansen Leb, Sr., we had Owen Binkholder, Sr., we had Andrew Brown, Sr., and we had Zayden Gates, Sr. Two of those guys are on the boys basketball team, so awesome to see them come out and be a part of the girls' night as well. And then also to Tyler Menz, who was up here helping with the video switcher. It takes a whole crew to make these things happen, and I'm very fortunate and thankful that we have a great student body that wants to be a part of this as well. Thank you guys, and everybody have a great night.